What would you say has been your biggest mistake?
Not trusting my instincts. Sometimes, you know, and not to sound sexist, but even just as a man, we so logical and we so driven by logic and so driven by facts that sometimes we can't move without facts. But if you got trust in your gut and you got trust in your instinct, and you learn that as you grow older and you mature, that you sometimes you don't need facts. You can just go off your gut and how you feel about things.
Damn.
You know what I mean? So just being confident in, I don't need confirmation. If I feel it, I trust how I feel. I know my intentions is pure. My instincts is like connection to a higher understanding. You don't need the facts all the time. Just go off how you feel. And so I think that I've learned to listen to my gut and my instincts more and be confident in making decisions off of that.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's true.
Fear is implemented. It's a program to stop us from making our dreams come true. And most of the things we're scared of never happen until you think about it so much that you manifest it. You know, when you're sitting around thinking about shit you're scared of, that means you're not doing nothing about it. Because when you're doing shit, you ain't thinking about the past. You're thinking about what's in front of you. You know? So if you got time to reflect, that's too much time. You should be working. Too much time reflecting is sucker shit to me. That's licking your wounds. I'd rather fight. And that's what I want to be famous for, fighting. I don't want to be famous for rapping. I don't want to be famous for acting. I want to be famous for kicking some fucking ass to those that deserve it and helping people that I love. And that's what I'm going to go down in history for. An ass kicker.
Anything is possible. That's where I'm at with it. Like, forced to believe anything is possible. There's a higher power. You feel what I'm saying? Everything happens for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Just stick to what you're gonna do. Don't take no advice. That was the greatest advice I ever took.
That's what, you know what I mean, separate the boys and the men. You know what I mean? Like, shit, you can go, jump out here and play if you want to, but you start fucking up, you ain't taking care of your business, bro. You just a victim to this shit.
I just believed in the plan on paper, and just, you know, amongst the team, it always felt like it could work. It was a good plan. And that to be empowered the way we wanted to be empowered, to get to the level that we want to get to, that it was this route. And it seemed like you had to be comfortable being counted out at times, because if you was uncomfortable with that would put pressure on you to make decisions that might be premature, might work against you in the long run. That's why I call my whole shit the marathon.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I think it was a lot of pressure to, like, take the elevator or jump on somebody else's back or
ride somebody else's wave.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And that worked for a moment, but the respect is what keep you in the game. You
Absolutely.
know what I mean? And the distinguishing yourself through how you get there, you know, is what people really, really at the end of the day say, that I know his character from demonstration, you know what I mean?
Right.
So that was what was most important. And whatever we could accomplish within that boundary, that's what we wanted. We didn't want nothing else outside of that until we was, you know, in a position to get that on our own and in our own way. And so every time we make a step forward or make progress, it count for that much more because we know how we got here. We know we kept it pure.
For sure. And I want us to be tasteful.
Right.
I want us to be evolved.
Right.
I want us to deal with things like men, not emotion.
Right.
I want us to really be rich, not look rich. I want us to be friends. I want us to stick together. I want us to take care of our kids. I want us to take care of our women. I want that to be cool.
Going against the odds to be successful because it's not in your favor. The game ain't built for your success. You just gotta be a beast. You gotta be harder. You gotta be stronger. You gotta be meaner. You gotta be hungrier, because you're gonna be fighting an uphill battle. It's like escape velocity. You know, to get out of the atmosphere to go into space, you need escape velocity. And if you don't have it, you're not gonna penetrate the atmosphere because it's gravity working against you. It's embrace it as part of the game. That's how it go. You know, that's what, it's physics. It ain't personal. It's science. For real, if you're a young kid trying to do it, it's gonna run you down. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna beat you up, but life gonna do it to you. Failing gonna do that to you too. That's real though. I think to stay inspired, you just have to make the decision that that's your intention. And I think that's what we see when we see young people do unbelievable things come from odds that's unbelievable. They had the raw intention, they had a strong intention, it was pure. And it drove them there and it took them there and it navigated, you know, through all the speed bumps and the potholes and all that.
It'd be people that have no plan, that aren't doing anything, are the most distracting.
Right.
They're the ones that speak the loudest, because if you're doing something, you don't have time to be worried about somebody else.
Right.
You don't have time for jealousy if you're doing something. You're too tired doing what you're doing.
Right.
So if you're sitting around thinking, that means you should be doing some action.
Right.
So that's your fault. So then the overcompensation comes for blaming somebody else for the reasons why you don't want to move.
That's ill.
You understand what I'm saying?
I feel that.
Like, well, how you gonna be big? How you gonna become a star without our marketing machine? Who said a nigga that was a nigga goal? My shit on the wall, my nigga. At above all, create something to be proud of. That's my goal. That's my mentality with all my projects. To be proud of the motherfuckers forever, not for the moment when they splash and they getting talked about. Forever, I can go back and listen. I'm proud of it still. They forced my hand. So I had to think of ways, nigga. Cause I'm not selling for underground. I'm not cool with that. And I'm not selling for non-ownership. I ain't cool with that. So I gotta find a middle ground. How do I own my shit and still be received on a mainstream platform and to be able to compete on the mainstream platform? I'm better than niggas. Niggas can't fuck with me. Niggas ain't really me. Niggas ain't live life how a nigga live life, make the decisions a nigga made. Or the sacrifice.
Are you a superhero to your kid?
Absolutely.
Not when your boss is in the room. What's best for your kids is to put your money into something, the stress, go through all of it, so when your child becomes a man, he doesn't have to work for nobody.
Right, well, that's the
you
whole
can
thing.
just pass it to him. Can another man say you're fired?
Absolutely.
No one can tell me that. That's priceless.
But I'm
Do you
not
think
gonna
your son enjoys you calling somebody else a boss? Don't you think your son would rather wake up with you and you could pick him up from school instead of having to do a 9 to 5? Don't you think your son would love if his name was up there? I taught my son never to have a boss. He's 23. He owns a restaurant. He has cookies. He has equity. He busts his ass so he can pass it on to his son. If that's not what you're hustling for, you're selfish. You keep saying I'm worried about my kids. You worried about you. My kids, you enjoy the safety and the security of a job every day. But there's no pride in that to me. But when you do something that's for yourself and your family, it never feels like work. I hustle for my last name. I don't hustle for my first.